1, 2, 3.
How's it going, Skyline? I'm Miguel Garcia, and welcome to another weekly roundup of the news for the week of April 29th, 2015, brought to you by Skyline View. This week, we're taking a different format with the weekly roundup, and we're going to have two anchors showing up on the screen at the same time. Today, we are joined by Caitlin and Sarah to give you the news, focal point, and sports. Now, let's get on to the news.
Hi, I'm Sarah. And I'm Caitlin. This week in news, we have a blurb written by Janita Lehman on a study that shows online classes are least successful when it comes to community colleges. And also, 2 new members were appointed to the California Community College Board of Governors.
So for this week's focal point, we have a movie review on Child 44 by staff writer Haley Holmes. And Child 44 is a movie based off of the book that follows the story of Leo Demidov, played by actor Tom Hardy, who investigates a chain of child murders in a country where murder does not exist. And unfortunately, the movie had a lot of flaws. Some of the plot suffered from rewrites or changing how the story really flows. And for the most part, the acting was shockingly troublesome, as Haley quotes. And the movie would never work with such a long runtime. Like, there's just too much in the story to cover.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Well, like I said earlier, for example, the movie 50 Shades of Grey is like that as well. Between the book and the movie was really fast-paced, whereas the book went more in-depth, so.
Yeah, and I think Haley's main point in her story was that some books should just not be turned into movies.
Yeah.
So for our next movie review, which was written by our digital editor, Will, it was a review on a movie called Doom, which is based off of the original video game. And for the most part, the movie lacked a lot of its original content from the actual video game. So with things just like the movies tended to lean more towards the action side than it did horror. And the hero of the film started to become more of like the villain and wasn't really the hero like it would be in the video game. And with other things like special effects and the script and etc.
Yeah, and a lot of video game adaptations lack the same thing as some movies.
Yeah, like books do.
Yeah,
they suffer
like
from the same thing. So kind of like Child 44, like it just lacks its original content.
So for Skyline Speaks this week, 2 of our staff writers, Max Mahler and Aaron Perry, went around campus to ask students their study habits and how they prepare for finals. So, I mean, Sarah, what are some of your study habits for finals?
I think that I just try to, you know, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. What are your study habits?
My study habits? I mean, honestly, I don't study, but if I have to, I usually well, yeah, I mean, it's sometimes for certain subjects it's hard to study, for like math, for example, but if it was something like maybe history or science, I guess, then I would probably like make flashcards or just like read over the content and like of what you're probably going to be like having like an exam on.
I mean, I try to just, you know, for me, I kind of like save things until the last minute to study, so I like pull an all-nighter like right before the test, you know, just drink a bunch of Red Bull and
and just like read through everything. That's what you have to do. Read through everything if you want to pass your finals. In sports this week, we have an update on a previous article regarding the virtues of martial arts. There will be a 4-week class taught on it this summer. Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, and wrestling are forms of martial arts that will be offered to students.
Yeah, so if you're familiar with any sports like karate or kickboxing, it might be a really good experience for you.
Yeah, and also boxing. You know, if you're into boxing, you should watch the Mayweather versus Pacquiao fight this weekend. That's going down in Vegas. Should be fun.
Yeah.
I'm going for Pacquiao.
And yeah, that sums up our
everything else.
Our weekly roundup for you.
Yeah.
I'm Sarah.
And I'm Caitlin, and that's it this week. So let's get back to the newsroom with Miguel.
That's it for the weekly roundup. I hope you're as excited as I am for this weekend because it is May Day. Pacquiao versus Mayweather is finally here this Saturday, May 2nd. Also, check out the rest of our multimedia projects, including our podcast, 3 Unqualified People. And we also have coverage of the recent Grease performance on video interviews and audio slideshows. Also, we have a blog video going up of our Mortal Kombat tournament that happened among the staff here in the newsroom. We also have a magazine going up. We'll keep you posted about that on our social media websites. Speaking of, you could follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, add us on Snapchat, and follow us on Vine. Like the video, comment below, and I will see you again in the next weekly roundup.